Welcome back to Ferocious Education. Today I'm going to be giving an update on Ideanomics IDEX. So this is going to go on through technical analysis, any updates that I have. Make sure to watch my previous one if you're interested to finding a bit more about Ideanomics. Make sure to drop a like to this video to help the channel grow, subscribe and leave notifications on. At any point in the video, if you have any recommendations or suggestions, make sure to mention them down in the comments below. Let's jump right into it. On a 1 week perspective, what we get to see here on the MACDs that it's actually continuing curving downwards. That is a negative sign. It shows in a slow negative trend. Unbalanced volume does signify as well more of an outflow, continuous outflow than an inflow. ADX shows in a very strong negative trend. William percent R is sitting at oversold, and momentum seems to be recovering just a little but stabilizing for the last 2 weeks. Now, when we're talking about the ADX, we do expect that it probably, after it hits above 45 or 50, might see positive reversal there. So that is not out of the question in the future, but it's reaching onto there. Moving averages still look somewhat sideways on a 1 week perspective. Now, on a 1 day perspective, and that's what we're more interested on, we get to see the MACDs actually going on towards a negative reversal. So it's actually testing them. That is a very dangerous sign to be in. Volumes here have been decreasing. So it actually did see a massive jump around 15.37 and then stabilized, decreased to 4.68 and stabilized around there. Unbalanced volume is actually curving back downwards. That's a dangerous sign as well. ADX shows in a very sloppy sideways trend and the stock is oversold. Now, moving averages here has dipped below the 200 SMA of 93 cents. That is extremely dangerous and puts it back towards bearish. Now, last time I did mention it's in the bearish trading action zone. If it does escape the bearish trading action zone above $1.03, then it might actually run. Now, it didn't do that. It actually played into the negative reversals in the trading action zone and fell back downwards. Moving averages still look bearish. Now, on a 1 hour perspective, and this is just merely for the next few hours, we get to see MACD here is curving upwards and it's actually priming itself on the MACD for an additional run onto Monday morning. However, a Death Star has been seen onto the afternoon around 2 p.m. on Friday, and that is a very bearish sign, and the moving averages went from bullish to bearish. So that is a dangerous sign for us. Now, we're just talking about technical analysis. We're going to cover news here, and we're going to dive in depth, so don't get demotivated yet. 84 cents in the bottom, 94 in the middle, and $1.02 for the moving average band. So it's expected to oscillate either onto the top or the bottom of the channel. Previously, it's been attempting to reach towards the bottom of the channel, but this channel is actually decreasing as we go downwards. Now the stochastic fast and slow. This gives us an indication of the price movement based on as well historical movements. Now we get to see that the bottoms or the troughs actually go on all the way down to, I believe, 1350. That seems to be a proper time, more common around 852. Right now, it looks like it still have room to dip further on the slow. However, on the fast, it did see previous jumps, or very minor jumps, going all the way down to 914. It's right now 3604 and 2494. So, based on the stochastic slow and fast, we do expect for it to dip a little bit even further, probably down towards the 80s or so as the previous bottoms. Now going on towards the charts, Fibonacci retracements put the support at 82 and a resistance at $1.15, above that $1.42. Now we're going to look into significant supports and resistances based on historical charts. Current support sits at 91. And then below that, we're looking at a significant one at 87. Below that, we're looking at 80 cents. Then below 80 cents, we go all the way down to the 60-cent mark to be one of the significant ones prior to the massive run it had in June. Below that, we're looking at 51 cents. Now, coming on towards resistances, and that's more important to me. So, significant resistances that we can consider at the time being is $1.02. That is a very significant one. And then the $1.05. And then above that, we're looking at the $1.18. And above $1.18, we're looking at $1.22. Now let's jump into news. So, latest news comes in towards a little bit of an update onto the quarters, I believe 3-4 deliveries for IDEX. We do notice two trends, and I'm very sorry about the size of the charts. I'm not able to find a good resolution onto it, but here's what we get to see. In turquoise, that's a taxi slash ride hailing, and in the blue, in the dark blue, it's the trucks. So in terms of the trucks, we don't see any additional trucks sold in September compared to August. So that's 100% almost decrease. Well, not 100% decrease. Might be actually something wrong on there, but it looks like they haven't sold any dark blue trucks in September. Ride hailing, considering let's say 165 to 423, even though that does count the turquoise, so probably looking into 3 times more in September than August for ride hailing for total units delivered, and that is a significant thing. Now coming on towards units invoiced pending delivery. No trucks seem to be here on the list, and that is weird. But when we going on towards taxi slash ride hailing, and I'll go to dark trucks in a second, we see 103 compared to 68, but we're comparing it to 269. So in July it seems to be opened up really nicely, and then dipped down to 68, and now we're up to 103, which is, I would say, 30% increase of August, but a bit more than 50% or half, a bit more than half of what we had in July. So that is concerning indeed, but we might actually still see a massive rebound, so that is still in the question. For the dark blue slash taxi ride hailings, 423 EV delivered in September, but 626 EV delivered in Q3 altogether. So 440 units were invoiced as well in Q3 in our pending delivery, and a total vehicles of 1,066 EV units in Q3. So that is something to consider. Now going on towards what the next kind of catalysts are, and I'm going to go through basically quickly into different aspects. I have tons of videos on this company, so if you go back, you're going to find every single thing you probably know about this company in my presentations or in my videos before. So in this presentation, they're replacing the fleets by 2040 for global small van and truck demand to increase by 50%, global heavy goods transport demand to increase by 57%, and global municipal e-bus fleet to grow by 300%. And so what they're trying to go for here is the commercial EV sales for group EV sales, free-based revenues from financing from the Meg Center in Qingdao, ex-China sales for Medikey and Treely. And in terms of going on towards what kind of operations they have, so in the USA they have the Medikey Motors Work division that will develop North America's specialty vehicle and pickup truck market. EMA South America and others that will be in the future, so that's the next catalyst coming up. Meg in China, and in Beijing got the ASEAN, which is the majority owner of Tree Electric, approved EV manufacturer and distributor in Malaysia. I did cover that in a previous video. Some achievements that they have covered is reduced company debt by around 50%, soft opening of the Meg Center, cash by the end of June was around 34 million, and the launch of Medikey Motors MMW, and the progress on the divesting non-core assets and achieved deliveries and revenues despite of COVID-19. The next catalyst coming up is the executing of deliveries and revenues in existing orders, bringing additional dedicated services online, begin building of North America EV supply chains for introduction Medikey Motors Works EV trucks, develop BAAS battery as a service partner, and continue to develop diversified over pipeline. So let's go on towards a bit more news. Next conference is on October 22nd to Friday, October 23rd, and this is the 4th China Intelligent Electrical Vehicle Summit. They did add one in March 2021, but that is way too long to consider. So they do have an event coming up, so that is exciting. Now coming in towards what is the next thing that we're interested in. Well, first let's take a look into institutional values. Now they do have the meeting, the stockholder meeting on October 22nd that I did mention. So that is something exciting. They do have a bit of things to be voted on, nothing significant there, but it's mainly an annual meeting regarding as well votes, so we might actually get to see a bit more other things going on to there. On the 16th, 14th, on the 16th and the 14th, calls and shares added to shares added to index fund, and calls added to call put into simplex trading into an institutional buyer. Lake Street Financial added as well around 46,000 shares there. Taking a quick look, so we have October 22nd, as I said, annual stockholder meeting, and we're looking into the conference, so we do expect that we might actually see a jump somewhere probably next week, maybe on Wednesday. But in the terms of the long trend for this, in terms of the long future, it does look like they have a future in terms of putting themselves in the right place for the next EV wave. However, the trends on the chart looks like it's fueled by fear. It's fueled by massive previous pumping that went to $4, and people that are actually bought around here, and they saw a massive dip. As soon as it jumps, you got back holders in every single level that they just want to break even. They don't want to make profits at that point. They just want to move on. I mean, even considering people that bought in this region that haven't sold here for some reason, they might be considering, okay, well, I just want to break even. So that's why whenever you're going on towards a run, it sees massive sales, and it's not short sellers. It is mainly bag holders, because short sellers, a lot of the whale short sellers are not going to go on through a penny stock that is frequently or has been pumped for or easily or has a good standpoint. Short sellers look into, for instance, a stock that has gone 300-200%, and then consider, well, is the news worth going to that, and is it going to drop, and then they short sell. But a company like this, short selling interest for whales is very minimal, so it's going to be bag holders that are bringing it down. What do you think about this ticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like. You have a wonderful day.